Alrighty, another vid on the MIDI. Doing some rear scrubby flares, thingos. Made 100% out of just scrap metal, leftover shit I have laying around. Just to kind of use it up. And I was kind of always planning on doing these anyway. I wasn't going to video this, but may as well. So here's just a bit of a shit one kind of thrown together. But yeah, definitely come up better than just the rubber garden edging. So here we go. Alright, this is how the flares are now, obviously. Just a bit of rubber, same as on the front. Ignore the small little shitty wheels, but yeah, these are mint, but I just want something to hold the car further off shit, and because when I'm running the canopy, I kind of wanted to keep it off the whatever these things are called. So it's going to be pretty much just as wide, but with a tube. So I'll go all the way down to the bottom here, so I can run a good mud flap off it, full width out. And then I'll come around, up, over and down, but I'll cut it back across in at the same height as down here. So we'll see how we go. So that's obviously the rubber edging ripped off. Now just looking back and sitting back, I think that looks a bit redonkulous on how big the opening is, and it sits a fair bit higher than the front. Even though these are stock springs, this is just kind of how high the tray's built up. So I'll probably, coming off here, I'll have it angling in. Same with up here, have it angling down. So it's going to be kind of down and in kind of throughout the whole thing. Kind of just bring it down like, I don't know, down like kind of around here and just in a bit. But I think the slant will kind of look alright when I put kind of the plate in on top as well. So, and I'm also going to be ripping these off and filling them in with the plate properly. As you can see, those little dicky pieces, but yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I've got these scrubbies and sliders, which that's bent to the shit house, and the other one over there is bent as well. They came off the GU. They're ARB, but they're, I don't know, pretty average. Now I'm thinking they should be thick enough wall. I don't know, not the thickest, but I don't know, we'll see how they go. And I'm just like looking at it to see what I can do. Now I'm kind of hoping that these two bends on the scrubbies are kind of big enough, and then I can just kind of cut that in the middle and put an infill bit in, and then that kind of obviously that being longer, and then I might need to cut it back here and kind of put a little bit more of an angle on it just to kick it a little bit more. But I'm kind of hoping that can obviously get one whole side, and then for turning back into the tray, I can use this bit, and then this bit on the slider, obviously cut it and rotate it, and then cut it down a bit as well. But yeah, so like angle there, come up here, that angle, longer bit in there, angle, come down, cut that, and then put that another angle on there, back. So that's the basic gist of what I'm gonna be trying to do with these, because I was just gonna throw these out, but we'll see what we can do. So they're the two sides, and wired it up, and then I've just thrown a longer bit on there. That will be like the top bar, obviously. And I was just going to keep working around this way, but I'm actually going to start down here and work back up now, and then that joint will be the last one I weld up. I just think that's easier to get this and the next angle before I'm kind of joining it. So I've got these ones with these bends on it, so I'm just going to trace them, and essentially I'm just going to copy this and that angle without joining it to this, and then I can dictate the length of that. Now it's hard to explain how I'm doing this because I'm a bit of a cowboy and I kind of just hold it and scrub it and eyeball it, but I've decided to bring this one all the way down to the bottom, unlike that one. And for that up there, obviously I've got this next angle So I kind of cut that off just square, like as in square to where this tube's going to be running down. I've marked the heights of where like the top of this will be. So I just eyeball that with the height, and then I hold this bit up and then just scribe the length for that. So then I'll just tack that obviously onto the top of this, and then yeah, that'll be that length in the corner, and then I just need to dictate where I'm cutting this off lengthwise to join up with the next bit. Now for this measurement, I just held this one kind of in place and then marked it up here, and then because this one was a bit longer, I just held that in place and then marked where that line is onto the tube, and now it's just tacked. When I was welding these together, I had a bit of angle, steel angle, and I just kind of clamped it to both sides of that so that this was straight. But yeah, you can see it comes up down there and then goes all the way to the bottom down this side. It's kind of hard to hold. Well, yeah, definitely hard to hold, so I can't really show you on it. But for the other side now, I'm gonna copy that, and then I'll probably just copy the length overall as well. So I finished it all up around, I don't know, the radius or whatever you want to call it. And now I'm just tacking it on now. So I've just got a few tack points on either side. And what I'm kind of going with is just parallel with this up here. So running the tube parallel with that. So I just did like a tack on the top and then held it where I wanted it, tacked it again, and then that is where it's just going to be sitting, just covering the trep. So I don't know if I've explained this before, but this tube on the tray is leaning in to this flat surface. So up here, it's a bigger gap between there than it is down here. But that's all sweet. And obviously it's sitting lower. So when I put a plate on here, it's going to be up on an angle. And yeah, just kind of covering the whole show. I'll put some holes in it and shit, but yeah, essentially that's it all sitting on. So I'll probably weld that all up on there, and then I need to go get some plate, but that'll be pretty firm to just sit here for, I don't know, a day or two. Had to take the wheel off to get kind of on the insides properly, but as far as that goes, kind of wraps around, and then on the bottom, because the tube's actually thicker than the square there. These are just all teggy holes, and couldn't be bothered doing them all, but yeah, so the tube's bigger. So what I've done is I've made this side flush, so it looks a bit nicer from there. It's flush on the bottom obviously, so just round that off. And then here I just smashed it with a mash hammer, that lip of the tube, so that it was more like angled into the square, and then I just ran a bead down that and then just cleaned it off, so it was smooth. So yeah, no stresses with tyres rubbing on anything there. Yeah, and the front's pretty much the same, but as far as that goes, that is strong as bugger all get out. So once there's a solid plate, I'm gonna do like, I don't know, probably like 6 mil the whole way from like that corner to this corner. That will be absolutely plenty. So this is where I'm up to now. You can see, obviously I've put a bit of paint on it. That was just so it didn't rust overnight in the rain and shit. But down here, that's all finished. It's all finished down there. Around this side, up to the same stage, all finished down there and on the front. So this is just a bit of scrap I had. And I'm going to be lining up this edge with kind of this weld edge down here, and then ignore that second one, but that's 50 mil back. That's kind of going to give it to a decent point, if I put it in actually a spot, to where it kind of gets flat on the tube. So that's going to be angled back in. I'll toss a couple holes throughout this. I need to cut this down a little bit and same angle on the front there. But like yeah, that's kind of the angle. I think that's a little bit higher just because it slips through, but that's kind of the angle it's going to be sitting on. So if you can get the gist from that. So I cut it to length and angle, but obviously I wasn't happy of it, as per this very detailed, precise drawing, and a little bit of cut on the other side, and then yeah, so I'll just cut in to kind of the center tip from both angles, get the flappy disc and kind of curve it out to this curve just to make it look a bit more finished. So the end's done. Probably liked it on the square one better after now seeing it, but a bit late now. So anyway, for these hole spacings, I'm just going to do 4 decent sized holes. I don't know, 20mm, 25mm or something. But yeah, just 4 evenly spaced. Now when you're working out like spacings like this, if I can do this all with one hand, obviously you just measure the overall, and then say you want 4 holes, you divide the measurement by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spacings. So pretty much however many holes you have, there's going to be an extra spacing. And if you don't know what I mean by spacings, it's just like from that hole to that edge, from that hole to hole, hole to hole, hole to hole, hole to edge. So that's how you get centered measurements of kind of that. You divide it by an extra, because if you did it by divided by 4, then it'd obviously be a lot different. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward shit anyway, but just thought I'd say it anyway for anyone. So yeah, just drilling these out, and then I'll scribe all this for the other side, and then we'll look at putting them on. Alrighty, so that's one side done, welded on, done. Now I'm not going to weld it all the way through. Even what I've done is terribly long welds for kind of what this is. But I don't know, I was just kind of going spacings kind of between the holes, opposite it. I don't know, just thought it would look alright. But now for the rest of these gaps, instead of welding them through, I've got some it's like body filler shit. Like, I don't know, like a seam filler, body filler shit, just from the what's it called? I don't know, just some paint shop, like car paint shit. So I got it's like a caulking tube of that. So I'll just caulk that into those gaps, run it off slick, and then it'll like kind of fill in the weld, make it just like kind of look like a continuous weld kind of. And then that gets painted over anyway. So that's how I'm going to be doing that. You can see kind of the angle it's sitting on. Now this is actually quite thin shit. It's like 5mm or like 4.5 or something. But I don't know, I just kind of thought like, fuck, it's pretty sturdy. And if I do smack a tree pretty hard and bend it, I don't really mind. I'll fix it. Don't really care. It's just what I had laying around, so may as well use it. Go with the theme of not spending anything on this apart from obviously gas wire and blades, but all scrap shit, so good stuff. Now just another little shit tip of mine, you can see kind of that's the welding patch I'm going to be doing. Because I've got a shit as welding mask, I've just got a little tack here in line with where I want to finish, because I know my mask's so shit I can't really see anything other than kind of what I'm doing, so I can't see really where the hole is. Like I can kind of see, but I know it takes a bit to look at it. So as I'm coming along here, I bump into that, and that is what tells me to finish the weld. And I don't know, it's like a real small tack, so when you're running over it, you run like kind of just a little past it, and it just like looks like the weld sweeping through. It kind of doesn't make the end look shit or anything. So yeah, there's a little shit one for you. And that's kind of the run over the tack, kind of just ties it in with the rest of the weld. but yeah, you can see I kind of lost where I was going and stepped down a little bit there. Yeah, I'm due for a new helmet. Can't say shit out of this. Now, this shit isn't really like silicone. You can't just like slap it on and then like spray it with a bit of soapy water and get it how you like it. You kind of got to get it right the first time, because even if you soapy it up and give it like a finger lick and shit, it kind of just grabs to your finger and shit like that. So you kind of got to get it right. You can play with it a little bit, which I might try to do here. Obviously having like a little bit of a wet finger still helps, but yeah, you can't fuck around with it as much as silicone would. You see I kind of fucking grabbed it a bit too much there. But yeah, it's just real grippy, so it just grabs your finger. You can't really avoid it, but you can still kind of get it to a mediumly good standard. Like that should be fine. So that's all that kind of put on and spitted where I want it. But yeah, you can kind of just see it just fills that edge. So it kind of continues the thickness of the weld through, kind of finishing it so there's no like open edges. But yeah, you kind of, I don't think you can kind of sand this that well. So as I was saying, like you've got to kind of do it good the first time, because you'll see it under paint and shit. It's more of a like a seam sealer than like a finished surface thing. I'll show you the thing. Just a sticker flex. Fast curing automotive sealant. Yeah, so a sealer, I'd say, for body panels and whatnot. But yeah, probably a weird situation to be using it. Hopefully it cures quick and I can slap a bit of paint on it. And then essentially we're done. And finally, quick coat of black. Just fiddly bits of shit. The shit is paint you can get. But obviously being a slider, this is going to be getting rubbed on shit all the time. So I want to be able to just whip that out and just pss, 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 away you go. But obviously still wet, but look at how they kind of filled the welds in. Kind of, yeah, makes it look finished. But essentially that is them bad boys done. Yeah, how about that? So covers the wheel obviously all the way. Don't need any more rubber. Also holds the this edge of the canvas off trees when it is rubbing. That was a big part, so I've got one for up here if it's on a full lean, and then this hopefully holding it off as well. But yeah, it does kind of look unfinished with the gap here, but that's staying. I do need to put in infill plates in there and under here. But yeah, look at that. And obviously the other side to finish off. So there you go. Uno and due.